I started my career in transit, and I used to end the days blowing out my nostril of the black steel dust that used to fill my nostril every day. And so there's a real commitment and a level of compassion and dedication. And so many times I remember on the A train and the D train from Coney Island to Manhattan during TPF and wrestling with someone on the floor, and either the motorman or the conductor would come out and make sure that I had assistance, and they were there for me. I remember one day coming through the tunnel, fighting with someone, and the radio was kicked, and half the time it didn't operate, and the woman who was the conductor came and took up the radio and put the call over to service. So we have a long commitment. We have a long relationship. And a lot of elected officials come here before you and they say all the time their relationship with you. I said that TWU may like and love you, but they adore me because I'm a transit employee just like they were for so many years. And we need to always remember that. And let me share this with you. September 11th, I was in Manhattan coming downtown, walking after the plane struck. And we saw how so many people talked about the great job that those who were part of the police department and the firefighters and the countless number of people who were successful in navigating the challenges and just the moment of being stunned, and how they did some great things. You have rarely heard the true story of those heroes and sheroes that allowed the city to keep moving, that ensured, even though you were dealing with the tragedy of losing some of your loved one and family members, that you still responded to the call of duty. You still ensured that we were able to have this city continue to operate in a very efficient manner. And so this was so important. And I thank your president for really raising the bar in the conversation of acknowledging the input that this great institution does year after year. It is so important that the leadership say, you are not going to write us out of history. Because history often try to glamorize those who sound popular to acknowledge. And they want to ignore those who play a very vital role on what was done. And that's what John is doing. That's what he's saying. So this moment today is not allowing our books to be wrote. I don't want my son, when he goes to do his book reports and he goes to do his acknowledgments and he goes to do a reflection of what happened during that horrific period, I don't want him to believe that only those things that were wrote by other people is the real historical analysis that what took place. You have to be wrote into that history. People need to know the role you play. And John is saying that. That's the leaders that you need, that people must demand that some of that ink must be about you and what you did. And acknowledge those who are still dealing with some of the illnesses that came from September 11th, still hurting, still traumatized, still are feeling the effects and the impacts of what happened. When our center of trade was attacked, the center of our being was attacked. And so I thank you. I thank you in a real way. I thank you not only my years as a police officer seeing what you were doing, but I thank you in my years of when I was in the transit system and realizing that we were partners and we were teammates and making sure that this city continued to move. And so this day is extremely important. This day is a manner of that you have your opportunity to understand the roles that were played. And so I'm your partner. I'm clear. I'm not elected to be served. I'm elected to serve. That's all I know. And I will continue to serve you in the best of my ability. Thank you, President. Thank you.